I would have got there we go. I would have got yelled at. Um, so the problem with our business that I find is we're a one-way business. And what do I mean by that? We are quoted every single day by title people, mortgage people, law firms, everybody you could think of, right? And yet, I love all the comments coming in. And yet, we get nothing in return. So I'm going to give you a 2 second story before we start doing this. So back in 2004, I had done at that point, I did, let's see, 160, about 250 transactions in my business career. 80% of them at that time were buyers. And my lender, who I gave all my businesses to one guy. So talking in 4 years, 250 deals. That's a lot of money, right? In 4 years. And I said to him one day, I said, this is our fourth year I've been working with you as a business partner. I don't even get a bottle of wine at Christmas, or right. I did get a $6 Christmas card. They probably bought in bulk, so I really $2. And I go, but I don't care about that. But I want you to send me a customer. And he goes to me, he goes, well, if I send you a customer, I'm going to send everybody a customer. I go, who else has asked? He goes, well, nobody. I go, well, here's the deal. If you don't send me a customer in the next 90 days, I'm not going to work with you anymore. I never used them again. And so, again, there's a lot more of what I'm going to talk about when I talk, but I want to put that out there. You shouldn't be a one way. You should not be feeding somebody else's family if they're not helping feed your family. So I don't care who you work with. If they all know somebody looking to buy or sell a home during the year. And I'm not looking for, give me one. So if all your vendors give you one deal a year, that's 5 deals a year, right? Or 4 years, whatever it is. So anyway, let's start it out with Cam, since he was first one on with me having to listen to my stupid story about my vocal cords. Cam, so tell me about your business partnerships and what do you do?
No, this is great stuff. Business partnerships is obviously something that for agents can continue to grow their business, continue to scale their business. It is helping you do the prospecting without having to do the prospecting. It's another form of prospecting. I've been very blessed that through social media, I've been able to connect with a lot of different service providers and builders and just trinket builders. To be honest, there's amazing what goes out there once you start doing paid promotions and that kind of stuff. But I want to focus more in on the builders because that is something that every single person can go out and start trying to build connections with, or start working with, start working and really start partnering with. What I did here about 7, 8 years ago, because we had a huge growth spurt in one of our areas down here in Southwest Florida, Cape Coral. And Cape Coral is not a deed restricted community. It's just, they can build where they want. If you have a lot, you can build a house there, which is one of the reasons people absolutely love it, is they're able to do what they want, build what they want. They're not restricted. With that said, the builders are able to do the same thing. So one of the things I did here about, I would say 8 years ago, is I was driving around the communities and I would go by all of the new builds that were, on their way up or being built, and any of them that had the Home Depot permit sign. So do you guys know what I'm talking about? When they have the permit sign, you can go down and buy it at Home Depot so you can put it in front of the house. I know out there in San Diego, you guys aren't doing a lot of building on the ocean there, but you can buy those more the cheaper signs, and that shows you. And the reason that you're looking for those specific signs is because it's not the major tract builders like Lennar or like DR Horton. They have their own signs. So you go buy those guys and you'll see that they have their own custom stuff. But for the kind of smaller builders, they're using obviously just what they can get down at Home Depot or Lowe's. So I was able to stop by, open up the permit sign, get their information, and then reach out to them. Now, what I did at that time when I reached out to them is I was really selling, or I was pushing the ability that I could get their homes in front of millions of views on social media. And that obviously worked wonderful for me because I've been able to establish fantastic connections with builders. And it's been, I would say, probably one of the main lifebloods of my business and our team's business down here is new construction and the smaller builders. So what you can do if you're an agent and you're looking for people to work with is you can do that exact same thing. Go into your area if they have new construction, find out who's building, and then offer to help them market. Now, what do you get out of that? Well, you have unlimited homes that you can market. The real goal there is that you can actually start working more in partnership with the builder, and you can hope that you can do open houses with them after a little bit. You can start even moving forward, and before you know it, they're going to call you up when they can't sell one of their homes, and they're going to be like, hey, we're going to give you a shot because you've been helping us here for a couple months. This is how I've helped, or how I kind of grew my entire database of builders that really boomed us through, 2020 to 2023 when we were just cranking out as fast as we could. So don't think of it as small, you guys. Remember, it can be as big as you make it. With all that said, and this is obviously kind of the next step to using partners and really, building those business relationships. I was just out over in Miami here. I was actually paid to go out, and I went over to Miami with a company called Onyx Homes. They're building prefabricated concrete block homes, which is something new down here. We don't have that, so it's unique. They paid for me to get out there. They wanted me to show everybody what we're doing. And they're actually developing a new development. So they are doing a development here right in our area in Punta Gorda. And I got my foot in the door. I'm going to be the guy that's going to be selling those properties because I was the one that offered to promote it. And again, it's just small stuff. It's consistency. You're doing this, you're helping others. Like Mitch says, you're always making sure that you're asking for business back, but you're helping others, you're promoting others. You're not necessarily expecting that right this second, but you'll see the opportunity comes when you're consistent. So I know a lot of you guys, I think on this panel, are going to talk about the service provider list. So I'm not going to get into that today. Again, those are great, very valuable connections and partnerships that you can make. And you need to make sure that the providers that you're recommending are recommending you back. With all that said, I really think that the more that you can do with the smaller builders, the more that you can give them, the more you can provide them, it's going to give you more and more opportunity to become their go-to listing agent. And I know one of the things that we're not going to talk about because we're talking more about business partners, but you got to remember too, is a lot of those builders are getting buyer calls. They need to be handled by somebody. And unless you ask for it, you guys, you're never going to get it. So again, start providing that little bit of value to those builders. You can get their info just from the permit signs. And before you know it, you're going to start getting referrals, you're going to get opportunities, you're going to get brand sponsorships, and it's all because you're providing stuff. So that's my big one of the take. It's what I've used, and it works really well, you guys. So I'm excited to hear what everyone else is doing.
That's great. And I will tell you, we have locally. I'm really good friend with one of the biggest builder reps here. She works one of the, and she says all of their deal goes to their two or three other listings because they get a lot of listing opportunities, right?
Hmm.
Because of all the buyers coming in that need to sell their homes. And they said she told me that literally there's like three realtors here locally that have brought them a bunch of business, but also do same thing. They're out there promoting their properties, and they get all their listing referrals. It's great. I love it. I love it.
Hey Mitch, can I just make a comment about that?
Oh, of course, yeah.
So good morning. Cam, I did that for the last, we don't have a lot of new construction, unfortunately, left in San Diego County. But back when we did, there was a huge development here in an area called La Costa Greens that was being built by D.R. Horton. And I went to them and they had a sales office, so they weren't going to let me sell their homes, of course. But I mean, this is a big national, international builder. I was able to handle all of their contingent buyers. So basically, when a buyer came in and said, "We want to buy a house here," but of course they had a home to sell, D.R. Horton said to them, "You have to list it with Matt." And the reason they did that is because I did something, a version of the guaranteed sale program, because I told DR Horton, look, you tell them, basically, I will guarantee the sale of their home so that you know that their house will be sold in time to buy your new construction, right? And so they basically made it a condition that all of the buyers that were contingent, which was pretty much everybody, listed their home with me, and it worked out great. So it's just a version of the guaranteed sale program, USP. But anyways, it worked great. Most of the builders that we have in San Diego nowadays are still going to be big builders. But you can be the go-to person, and they'll say, look, you want us to take you as a contingent buyer, you have to list it with our agent. So
Yeah. And I mean, guys, what I'm saying here, this works. I mean, we're all probably have done this in one form or another. With that said, national builders, DR Horton, our team down here in Southwest Florida, we actually partnered with Holiday Builders, which I believe they're national. I'm not 100% sure, but they are more of kind of a lower cost build, but they allow us to do open houses for any of the team members that want to do an open house. So we have unlimited open houses in their builds. It gives us an unlimited buyer supply. So, one of my younger guys wants to be out there doing it 5 days a week. They're happy with it. So national builders or bigger builders will work with you too. Don't, don't limit yourself, you guys. You got this. You can do that. Think big, go for it, and you'll find that people are really receptive to it.
Yeah, don't be shy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, well, that's all I wanted to add. The other thing, since I've got the mic here, is like you were saying, Mitch, with regard to lenders. If you've got a lender that you send a lot of business to, you definitely want to be getting something back from them. I started doing a neighbor, well, a magazine that I've been mailing out to about 8,000 homes a month. And I was able to get, the flooring company that I use a lot to replace carpet and flooring in the homes that I sell. They're running an ad in the back of the magazine that they pay for. The termite company that I send a lot of business to, they're running an ad in the back of the magazine, and this is all going to cover the cost of it. The home inspection company that I use, they're running an ad in the back of the magazine. The painter that I use all the time, because almost every house that I sell, there's something to be painted. And anyway, the point is, yeah, you should have all of your vendors. Because of RESPA, title companies cannot technically pay for anything. Escrow companies cannot technically pay for anything, but all the other contractors that you use, for any marketing that you're doing, direct mail or whatever, they can pay, and they should pay because you're sending them business. So that's all I got.
Awesome. Good stuff. Mr. Lurch.
Again, it all goes down to relationships. You don't need more of them. You just need good ones. And we all get phone calls from mortgage people every day. And I say, look, I'll be honest with you. I have a handful, and that's where I stay. Because when I need a favor, when I need something that's in a gray area done, I don't expect that I'm going to have a hard time. I'm going to expect that I'm going to get it done. Like the title company, I say that the settlement's got to be somewhere else. They're not charging to go there. I say it needs to be at this time. It's going to be there. I mean, if I'm giving them, 40 titles in a year, that's a lot of money, okay, that they're getting. So they've got to jump through hoops, and they've got to wow me. But one of the things that I've also learned, what I've been getting now that I'm with EXP also, is I'm not asking them just for clients. I'm asking them for disgruntled agents. They're the first ones that are going to hear people are uncomfortable. They're not happy where they're at. And that's great. I just need them to, one, praise me, two, make me look good in front of my clients, and three, ask my clients to recommend people to me, have them, and they're asking. So when my home inspectors are working with the buyers, they're saying, you know what, you're working with one of the best in the area. He's been around forever. You should have all your family and friends calling him. Are you going to do that? So they're third partying me. And that's one of the things. And give them the script. Tell them what you once said. And if they're not there to promote you, then why are you going to promote them? All right. And that's one of the things that I've been doing. I'm getting referrals because they're then asking also, and they're also making me look good. So I'm just doing the same thing, but I'm also going one deep. But I'm also, like I said, with EXP, changing lives and helping agents too. So that's one of the big keys in this past year. I've actually gotten 2 agents from two different mortgage companies that I work with this year.
Right. Yeah, it's a whole other way to use it, right? Retraction. Definitely. Mr. Ross Stout. Ross is kind of funny between, like, Ross is like got like perfect hair. Kind of pisses me off.
It's
Him
fake.
and
No, I'm just
Cam.
kidding.
It's
Yeah,
fake, yeah.
working it out. Still trying to exercise my youth here. But I love piggybacking on what Lurch said, because that's exactly like when I made my switch to EXP last year, vendors come out of the woodwork, right? So they're wanting business. They know that they need to earn it. So can't really ask, like Matt said, title companies or escrow companies for money. But what you can ask for them is kind of like what Lurch was saying, like, hey, I told them I'm going to give my business to anyone who can connect me with agents who would like to join my team. Whoever is going to bring people that are excited about selling real estate, who need a change and an opportunity, that's where I'm going to put my business. And I still haven't landed on a loyalty with anyone because the verdict's still out. So I'm going to continue to exercise that and see who can bring some people to our platform, especially here locally in the desert. And that was kind of a huge aspect of it. But you can do that with title, escrow, home warranty, NHD. And then you can start building relationships. I would encourage you, while we're talking about this, is to apply this to your business, because you are building a business. You're not chasing sales. Incorporate these people into your systems, see who's going to work in with you best, who's going to provide you the best service. If you have a listing, who's going to get that title report out, who's going to have all eyes on it for you, who's going to do this correctly according to your standards, and then stick with that person doing that. Find who's going to serve you in your business best, not who's just first available. People will wait for excellent service, and just make sure you're always giving it, and don't just chase the sale, build the business. And that's what this whole conversation is about. So in building my business, I found an escrow company, and if you start wanting to do agent attraction, building an organization or a team, you're going to want to give back to those people who have entrusted you with their business. And I found an escrow company who will pay for my agent's transaction coordinating fee. It's all RESPA approved. And so they pay that through escrow for any transaction that's over $1 million. It's hard to sniff anything over here on the West Coast less than $1 million these days. So we can definitely get our transaction coordinator fee paid for my teammates who use that escrow company. We've connected with an NHD and home warranty, and they've actually helped fund several of our events. They're not cutting out big dog checks, but I mean, $500 there, $1,000 there. That's all savings throughout the year. And if you can save $10,000, throw events, get your name out there, that's a huge add value to your business, and it keeps money in your pocket, all the while just solidifying. And NHD and home warranty, those are the easiest things to write into a contract, especially if you're buyer heavy. Nobody's going to counter that out, because nobody cares. Nobody's really leveraging that relationship. So whether you're on the buyer side or the seller side, write those people in, because that's the easiest one to do. And those are the people who can still write checks. So leverage that, find out how you can continually have them support you there. And then when it comes to lenders, build that relationship, but like everyone's saying, it's got to be a two-way street. And if you're looking to, grow your own business or grow a team, leads are always important, right? And if you have a lender who can come side by side with you and who trusts you and maybe has a deep corporate pocket, you can ask them, hey, will you pay for X amount of these leads, or for all of them? And every one that I service, I'm going to give to you as the lender. So not only are you building that lender's business along with you, you're doing it. Like when Zillow gives me a lead, they expect me to use Zillow Home Loans. So the way I view that is, if I get a lead from Zillow, it's just like I got it from a lender. And if you got a lead from a lender, never would you go get them cross-qualified with somebody else to try and give them the business. That'd be like if you sent somebody pre-qualified with the lender, and then they're like, oh, I sent them to a different agent because they're better than you. So we want to avoid those kind of relationship mistakes, but also want to build into them just to keep money in your pocket and drive business. And if it's not leads that you're interested, maybe it's a CRM, maybe it's any kind of process, a dialer, anything that's going to benefit your business. Let that lender know, I will give you business if you help fund mine. And that always kind of comes from the company. So again, I just wanted to encourage you guys to build a business, find out what's best for the avenue you want to go down. There's so many opportunities to make money in this business, and you just need to find your niche. And when you do, build out that business plan and see who can help plant the correct seeds in the right spot for you.
Ross, can I throw something there on?
Yeah.
As far as when you were talking about mortgage companies, we've been working with Movement Mortgage a bunch now.
Yep.
A guy, Mike DeLiglio, he's fantastic. I mean, you want to talk about killing it? He has a database of all the realtors, and he's doing blasts with special financing on all my listings, co-branded with them, offering 2-1 buy downs at movement
Yeah.
mortgages cost, not even
Yeah.
seller's cost. If the seller wants to jump in, they can do a 3-1 buy down, a 3-2-1 buy down. So it's even bigger. He can actually get rates down into the 4s if a seller wants to jump into the deal, and put up $10,000, $12,000 towards it. So get them to come up with programs that nobody else is doing, and then get them to blast it as a third party. So it's not just from you, but it's to their database. So he's hitting all the other realtors in the area, and it's creating leads for him and me, and it's showing goodness to my seller over and above that nobody else is doing. So,
And to pair with that excellent service, do a video of yourself describing the 2-1 buy down and what that can do for someone on their payment and their closing costs and what kind of equity they can build. So to go along with that email, be like, hey, lender, can you send this video out of me describing your program and what it's going to do for my seller? Like I have it in my notes here, what we were talking about the last time I was on here, just making sure that you execute your list. I have something that's lagging 2 weeks. Build that video, put it out there. Like I have a join my team video that I'm going to put on my email footer. Like that's all free. Leverage that, double down on whatever you're doing by just putting it on video and getting it out to the public. And that'll really just put a bigger spin on it, because if your face is getting put out there to somebody else's sphere that's not yours, that's when the magic starts happening, because then it starts to share and get larger exponentially.
Yeah, it's great. Love it, love it, love it. Mr. Middleton, tell me, you're Mr. Business Partner of the Year, I heard. Tell me about your partnerships that you built over the years.
Well, I've built a lot of partnerships, just like these guys are talking about, with mortgage companies and title companies and escrow companies. You know, it depends on your state. And I'm building some new ones in Nashville right now. But I met with a new accountant yesterday that was referred to me, and that guy's kind of dialed in Nashville. So, you know, I say right when you meet people, just be. I'm Bostonian blunt, so I'm very straightforward. And sometimes I probably don't deliver the message the best way because we're very, very direct. And the person receiving the message has to understand that. So I try to pre-frame everything and say, look, the way I run my business is I want to be in business with people who understand business, and I want to be in business with people who reciprocate business. So I always share with them that it's all based on reciprocity, you know. And then I ask them, who do you have that's looking to buy, sell, or invest in a home here in the next 90 days? I do it everywhere, you guys. If I go to buy a car, it's the same thing. If I go to buy clothes, it's the same thing, or shoes or whatever. I'm always talking to people, asking them who they know and can they pass my name along, because those are the relationships you want to really create. It's really important. And if you're throwing events or you're trying to offset certain costs in your business, you know, put together a slide deck on how it's going to benefit them and what they can expect out of it, and just share it with them and say, you know, you're going to get all my mortgage business, but this is what I need in return. You're going to get all my home inspection business, but this is what I need in return. And make sure it's a win-win. I think that's key in business, because you want to be able to find people like the ROG was saying, where people will keep you in mind and top of mind and pump you up and promote you. And the problem is a lot of these people are all over the place. So you almost have to sit down with them and set expectations by pre-framing to them how you want them to talk to your clients. And if you send them clients, how you want your clients handled and so forth. I think it's super, super important, and it'll open up a lot of avenues if you do it correctly. So that's my take on that. I think it's an important part of business, you know. And just to add on this, I know Dennis isn't on today, but Dennis made a really good point on this a few weeks back, you guys, where he pre-frames and sets the expectations with commercial agents. So if you have some commercial agents in your marketplace, commercial guys hate dealing with residential. They'll say it all the time. They'll say, I don't know how you resi guys deal with all this nonsense where people are emotional and won't buy a house because of the color of the bathroom, right? Because in commercial, it's all about the numbers and the return and the cap rates and the ROI and so forth. So they don't want to deal with residential, even on their own residential. If they want to buy something or buy an investment a lot of times all they're looking for is a referral because they don't want to deal in that world. So take a few of them out to lunch and ask them for business and say, I'd love to pay you a referral. And I think we can create a lot of income in 2025 if we just team up. And I'll send you all my commercial stuff because I don't want to play in that sandbox. And you can send me a referral. And you say it just like that. And they'll get the hint, you guys, you know, and then drop them off something for the New Year's. Usually booze. They like that because with booze, you can't lose with a lot of the commercial guys, right? But you drop off something and then you stay in touch with them every month. Meet up for breakfast, meet up for lunch, meet up for happy hour, meet up and stay in front of them and ask them for business. Because otherwise, if you're not top of mind, you're going to be out of mind. And if you're out of mind, you're not going to make money. So I think that's really, really important. That's an easy way to do it with no money spent or hardly any money spent. And it's a good way to get business.
Okay.
I want to jump onto that too, because that was a
Okay.
great point that he made of, you know, setting expectations, which is pivotal. I mean, that is the number one thing I can say when you're trying to do more business to business relationship is truly setting the expectation, letting them know what you're expecting to, not just what you're expecting from them, but also what you're expecting to get from them. And you have to ask for it. I think that's my biggest thing that I you know, last year, we did a lot of business to business when we did that live tour. We did a lot of sponsorships. We did a lot of co-marketing and that kind of stuff. What I learned was it didn't matter if you asked a corporation for $5,000 or you asked them for 25 grand. If they're going to give it to you, you'd be surprised that they don't mind giving you more than you even think they would be willing to do it. But you never will get that unless you ask. Kind of jump back. We just had a property we sold the other day where the guy sent us in an offer and he only asked for 2%. Sure, I would love to give you 2%. You got it, right? And it was funny because we had other ones coming in. They were asking for more, but you will never get more than you ask for. So keep that in mind too when you're working with these businesses. Especially right now. Right now is a fun time because you got all the tax stuff going on. You got businesses that need to make sure their numbers are right. For us, you know, that amount of money can do amazing things. So keep that in mind.
And also keep in mind, you guys, all these businesses right now, it's the end of the year. They're reflecting on 2024, but they're looking at what are they planning out in 2025? What does 2025 look like? What do they have in the hopper? What do they have coming up? And be in service to them, you know, be really positive mindset. I mean, Jen St. Clair just put on our chat that a builder reached out to her. Instead of being irritated or short with them, she just flipped the script. She flipped her mindset. She did a great job. She asked him how could she be in service to him and help him. And now she's doing ADU seminars at his building sites and he's paying for all of it. And she's bringing people in there and she's creating that relationship. That you have to create a relationship. You can't just walk in to a restaurant or a bar or a meeting or a meetup and ask somebody if they want to get married. You have to create a relationship and date them for a while and make sure that they're in alignment with how you do business and what's important to you. You know, have that conversation. Get to know them. What is their family like? What's their family work-life balance? You know, what do they do? What are they interested in? What are their hobbies? Where are they from? Get to really know them. You know, it's all teammate. Tell me about yourself. Then you can say T-Mad, tell me about your business. T-Mad, tell me about your dreams. You know, and just listen, ask questions and listen, and even take notes and repeat it back to them. And everything is great. Everything's great. That's so cool. Hey, I want to be on your team. I want to do life with you. I know that sounds cheesy as ever, but people like that, you guys. You know, just like reach out to all your past clients, your sphere of influence right now, wish them a happy holidays. You know, apologize to them if you haven't been in contact with them in a while. Say, you know, life happens and things get away from me, but I want to do life with you. I want to make sure that I impact your life and your family's life and your journey. And I'm telling you guys, people eat that up. They eat it up. So not only with vendors and really mapping it out, and anybody who's on this call is with EXP, you can get vendors to sponsor your events or meetups or, you know, coffee for closers or cocktails for closers, and they'll sponsor it because they just want to be featured. And you got to make sure you feature them and you promote them and you lift them up. And they'll connect with people and they'll figure out a way to get business out of it. Because if not, they won't want to be connected to you or sponsor anything. So I think Cam makes great points. He's one of our up and coming dynamite people in real estate, and he's hustling you guys, and he's positive and he's working it. And I want to feature Cam as much as I can. That's it. I mean, I'm going to feature him in some kind of suntan lotion commercial or something. I mean, it's coming up, right? But we got to feature and we got to tell the success stories, not just about our brokerage, because I know there's a lot of people on here who aren't with our brokerage. This is a very brand agnostic type of mastermind. But I think it's important to tell the success stories. People love hearing success stories, and they like to see it, more importantly, in video. And you could even interview these relationships on video. You know, pay for a professional 1 to 2 minute promotion of this and send it out to your database and ask them to send it out to their database where they promote you. That's how reciprocity is done.
I want to say this to you guys. You know, Pete, I really appreciate you saying that. It means more than you guys know, because it's a lot of work, busting tail day in and day out to make it happen. I wasn't going to go into this because I don't have it all firmly planted. I don't have the plan perfectly made. But one of the things I'm going to do in 2025, it's going to happen, is I'm going to give away a house. How do you do that? I don't know yet, okay? But I know with the right people and me telling people and asking for it and looking for the builder that wants to do something special. We're looking for the people that want, like you said, Pete, that want to do it with you side by side. Let's partner. Let's do something spectacular, right? Like Mitch would say, let's do something wicked awesome. And that is what I'm going to do here in 2025 is I want to give away the house to someone that really needs it. Right now, challenges are going on. This will not only be extremely beneficial for someone to get a house, to get out of the situation they're in, which is obviously the goal. But I know for a fact that it's going to unlock opportunities with business partners, with hopefully with, bankers and business partners and that kind of stuff. And that is how I want all of you guys to think too. You got to think big. Who can think about giving away a house? No one's, well, you're doing it. Someone's out there doing it. If you're not doing it, someone is. So think big, take action. And like I said, make sure you ask for it, because it's incredible what these companies will give and what they're willing to do if you ask for it.
Hey, good. And I am in the middle of a construction project in my house right now. So Cam, if you want to give me a house right now, I could really use one, because as of Saturday, we are homeless for at least 3 months. Mr. Lawson, how are you in the windy city of Park City, coldness of freezing your tail off? We don't understand that in the warm cities we're all in warm cities, so we don't get that whole cold thing.
Yeah, that's right. Well, first of all, I want to be like Cam also. So much so that when I turn my camera on every day at this, it says my name is Cam Smith. That's how bad I want to be you. I don't know what's going on. I don't know why it happened, so I always have to change it. So I just took my filter off because I want to show you a couple things. And sorry, we had a big team meeting this morning that we were going over stuff for 2025 that we're doing. And there's some unbelievably good things that I want to share with you over the next year, but we're not going there today. But I apologize that I was 30 minutes late to come on. So what I prepared, I may be reiterating what some of you all said, but the first thing that, how to build industry relationships. I've done something that has been absolutely phenomenally successful in our marketplace. And what it is this document right here. It's a 8.5 by 11, and we call it our resource guide. Essentially what it is it's a yellow page guide for people that we know in our marketplace. So, Mitch, if you come to Park City and you want to buy a property, and you need to get a fence built, who are you going to go to? Or dog care, or you need firewood, or florist, or dentist, or contractors, or heating and air, or gyms, or handyman, or home automation, or personal trainers or mold mitigation or all that, right? And this does two things for us. Number one, when I say Mitch, there's only one way to get in this book, and that is to be somebody that we know and trust. So I'm going to give you this book. So when you are here in the Park City area, you need anybody, these are our trusted partners. So guess what? I also am asking these people that are in the book. So, for instance, property management, long term, assurance property management, I'm calling them, we give them these books and say, pass them out. But more importantly, we print these 250 of these every quarter that we pass out to buyers. But you know what, Susie at Assurance Management, I haven't gotten a referral from you this month or quarter. And we're printing 1,000 of these, and we're putting these out. Maybe I've dropped the ball and I haven't asked you for the business. I heard somebody say, if you don't ask, you won't receive, right, Cam? So we have to do that. This takes a little work, but it is, you get a VA or one of your assistants doing this, it's unbelievable. It has a picture of the team. There's 12 realtors or 15 realtors in here, although they're all on the team, right? So that's the first thing. And then there's a script. So Cam, you're my home inspector. I had this conversation 4 days ago. So and answer with me the answer over 100, okay? So Cam, we love our partnership with you as our home inspector, and I'm curious, how many home inspections have we given you in the last year?
Oh, Dave, yeah, absolutely. We love our partnership too. It's been great. I think you've easily sent us over 100 in the past year.
Yeah, over 100, and so we're a great partner to you. Do you agree?
Oh, absolutely. We love this partnership.
Yeah. But you know what? I haven't gotten a referral from you in the last quarter. So I'm going to be reasonable, Cam. I know I can give you 100, and I know you can't give me 100. But could you give me five? Maybe, maybe not. But you know what I want from you? I want one referral from you in the next quarter. How's that sound?
Oh, that's easy. We can do that for sure, Dave. We'll make sure that
Yeah, and
happens.
and then he says something like, "Well, most of the time when I am working with somebody, it's another agent who has also given me this." And I go, "I'm not looking for other people, but I want the business from you, from all of your friends, people in your church group, your neighborhood, your office, your family or friends, your associations, right?" And Cam, I'm your best unpaid salesperson. Yes or yes?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So what I don't need you to be my best one. I just need you to be one of them. So if we're going to continue to do business, I just can't be giving you 100 home inspections a year. Or if it's 10 or 12 or 20, it doesn't matter what that number is. I need something from you. Okay. Um, as I came on, Ross, when you guys when Ross speaks, man, you got to listen, especially when it talks about, running and growing and all that. I really respect Ross. And he said, if Zillow gives you a referral and they want to do a home loan, you send it to them, right? Well, I have a lender. I'm in the same position with Ross at Zillow. And now they don't have a good mortgage system yet in Park City. So, our lender was here in the office with us doing our presentation at the sales meeting, and he pays an enormous amount of money for our leads. Now, because we're Flex, he doesn't send those, but he pays half of all of our Zillow. He pays half of all of our realty.com. He pays half of our fellow bill. He is a great partner. We've given him over 100 mortgages, and he's making a lot of money off of us. And unless you ask your lender to participate, they'll just take it, right? So do that. And your title company, you send them we sent them 200 deals this year. We tell them, you've got to be sending me. There's for sale by owners that walk into a title company and you go, I only want all of those, right? I give you 200. Everyone, I want you to call me if there anybody like that. But you have to ask and you have to set the expectation. And um, gang, this is the one thing you have to understand. Your title company, home inspector, mortgage person, whatever it is, every single person in this book, I'm sure they woke up thinking of, oh, I that's David Lawson, my partner, man. I got to find him some business, right? No, they're not thinking of us. We all woke up like whatever is what is in our business, right? So if we're not asking, we are never going to get anything. Um, and then Pete said commercial agents. Commercial agents, I like to go in and say, I do commercial, but I hate it and I don't know it and I'm not very good at it. Would it be okay if I send it to you? And they say, sure, I'd love it. And then you know what they do? I usually don't have to ask, and they say the same thing back to me, right? It's easy. You go in, you talk to CPAs, and all that. And when you go to these places, take some of your marketing materials, take your buyer's guide, take your listing presentation, give them the Lawson team just the facts, give them this, show that you know what you're doing, and then those people, and when you walk out of there, they have 4 pieces of material, and if they even look at it, or they'll leave them around, and someone will see it. um, don't be a secret agent. You have to get out there, you have to talk to people, you have to meet people, you have to have coffee, you have to just get yourself out there. So that's what I present.
That's awesome. Dave,
Good
you
stuff.
guys, Dave is an amazing asset because he runs, one of the biggest teams in Park City. He used to be with Ingalls and Volkers. I mean, talk about a luxury success story. And without even knowing, this is how much Dave and I are on the same wavelength. Look at the hat he has on. You get the memo, right? Dave and I are all luxuried up today. But listen, there's success stories.
Oh, wait, Pete. I got to say one more thing. So, Pete, where was I last Thursday?
You were at my
For Christmas. I went
Christmas
to
party, my white trash, Pete Knows PB Christmas party, and Dave
Yeah.
Columbus.
But the thing is, why did I go down there? Because I get the opportunity to be in front of people.
Right?
I talked to every single person that was at the party. What I also did is I reiterated how lucky they are to be on Pete's team. So, because I believe they are. I mean, Pete gives a lot of value. So I'm pushing and helping Pete. But what else am I doing? I'm saying, God, do you know anybody in the Park City or the Salt Lake market that wants to buy or sell? Do we want to, any referrals? Um, and I say, if I get a referral for you, I guarantee you're going to be the first person in the San Diego area that's going to get a referral from me because it's such a good feeder market. But don't go to one of these. I went to this event for 3 reasons. One, to support Pete. Two, to let their agents know that they're at the right place working with Pete. I even invited somebody I'm trying to recruit, um, Juan, but he couldn't make it. And 3, when you're there, you've got to be asking for business, right?
Always.
So,
Like you said, don't be a secret agent, right?
yeah.
So I'm gonna do mine really quick because I want to go around the board before we end and give everybody, because this is our last our last meeting before or after the first. So I want to just like have a little everybody give a little advice for everybody for their coming year. But I want to give you a quickie on my business thing. And I don't sell anymore. If I was selling, I was getting ready to do this when I was selling. And then of course I started my brokerage and all hell broke loose. So everybody's heard of the group BNI, right? Right, the business networking group. Everybody knows something like that. I'm a big believer in being the leader, and maybe it's because I'm only 5'5.5", and you have to act like you're tall. But I think it's important to be the leader in your community. And when you're a leader in the community, people want to do business with you, right? But instead of joining BNI, which I never did, why don't you become the leader of your own BNI type product? Why don't you put together an inspector, a lender, an attorney, a plumber, an electrician, a title person? I mean, you can go on, a estate planner, anything you want. It's not really relevant, an accountant. All these people, you can really put 20, 30 people together, and you don't have to charge, right? It's just a lead generation group for each of us. Each person you get on once a month on a Zoom call or twice a month, whatever you want. This is your thing. But I mean, BNI is a great source for generating leads for businesses, including realtors. So why not start your own? And again, I'm a huge believer that when you start something, and it's probably why I've started 27 companies. When you're the leader in everything you've done, people gravitate to you. They're like, oh, look at this. This person's a connector. I want to be part of this person's life. I think Pete said about being, I want to be part of your life. Pete and I think the same way, probably because we're Bostonians, and we're disappointed Red Sox fans right now and Patriots fans right now. But the reality is take that advantage of your connections that you have now and form it into a group that helps each other. Most of your people that are individual corporation owners are on islands by themselves, and they don't even know it, right? And most brokers, most realtors are on islands themselves. Even if you're in a brokerage, you're still by yourself. But most of these other people are all by themselves. It's a great opportunity for you to build a network of vendors that can help support you. And I'm not going to. They all hit on a bunch of other stuff I was going to talk about. That's the downside for going last. But we have 8 minutes here, and I'm going to start with Cam. We'll just go around the horn. Give 1 minute on your advice for agents, and hit on two: one for experienced, one for new agents in 2025. What they should be thinking about.
Biggest things for 2025 for agents, new agents, and experienced agents. I'm going to combine it into one. Is really focusing. Okay, so you really need to focus on mastering time management. It's simple. And it's the hardest thing. I'm 17 years into this and I'm still working on it every day, every week, every night. When you get done with work, last thing you want to do is sit down and plan your next day and do more work. But I'm telling you guys, if you do that, I guarantee there's not a more effective thing that you can do than manage your time, set up your schedule, make sure that you are staying on schedule, and you will crush 2025. So new agents or experienced agents, my one advice is create something, work it, stay consistent with it, and then review at the end of the year the rewards and the progress and all of the successes that you have, because that's something that I haven't done or I'm not very good at. Is I like to just skip on to the next year, never slow down and reflect. But make sure you reflect on it so that you can stay motivated, you don't burn out, you don't have those challenges that we all have. And to beat that, you reflect back on your successes. So that's my big one for the new year. And I hope everyone has just a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. If Christmas isn't your favorite holiday, but everyone, it's just incredible to be up here. And I appreciate Mitch, Ross, Dave, Pete, all of you guys. I mean, and there's so many of them that aren't on this call right now because we're enjoying holidays and they're busy. But I really am thankful for you guys, and I hope you have an awesome holiday.
Yeah, and I wanted to answer. I want to expand on that one minute, you guys, because Ian Turkin is a newer agent, and he said, what advice do you have for new agents? And here's the deal: you have a clean slate. Go out in your community, align with the people you want to align with. And I mean, if I had your last name, it would be easy to market. I'd just say Turkin can sell your house. Turkin can sell your home, right? And go out and talk to all these people and say, Turkin can refer people to you. Turkin can do this. And create those relationships and ask for the order. Don't be afraid to ask for the order. Say, who do you know that could use my help and my services in 2025 or in the next 90 days or the next 30 days or the next 60 days. Create that urgency, you guys, and reach out to people and say, look, I'm going to be one of the biggest, best agents in the business. If we create a relationship now on this ground level, I will make it worth your while. I will be referring people to you for your service. This is how I'm going to do my service, and let's get on the same page. That's it. That's what I would do.
That's
Okay.
great. Russ.
For experienced agents, I'd say just get laser focused on systematizing what you're really good at. Focusing on freeing yourself up to go out in the community and be the face of your company. Your sales business is your company. Be the face of it. Be out there. Make those connections by freeing up your time on the back end by having it dialed. So it's a great time right now where things can be a little slower. Hopefully it's not, but if it does get a little slower, I would focus on your personal growth in mastering your business so you can do more next year by making yourself available to do so. For new agents, I always say this is how I got started. Find someone that you would like to emulate. See if you can be their apprentice, their sales agent on their team. Have them be your mentor. Latch on to somebody. We all need to carve a path for ourselves, but it's a lot easier to carve it when somebody's already gone ahead of you in a similar direction. And then when you're strong enough, you can branch off and make it your own brand. So those would be my two biggest piece of advice for realtors. And again, Merry Christmas to everyone. I have an attitude of gratitude. So thankful for everyone on this panel and everyone that I've been able to work with in the past couple of years. And hopefully this has been a blessing to you guys. Awesome. Thank you guys.
Amen.
I appreciate it. Dave Lawson.
For new agents, you have to focus the vast majority of your time having a plan. What is a plan? You have to be doing income producing activities. P is prospecting. L, lead follow up. A, appointments with buyers or sellers. N, negotiating contracts. Those are the things that get you money, gang. Everything, I always say there's 100 things to do in real estate. Yes or yes. People say yes. There's only 4 that make you money. And you could say 5. It could be plans where you do some social media video or whatever, but that's long term. But if you're a newer agent, you focus on doing anything that is income producing and stay away from social media. It is the biggest time waster. It'll give you a million different ideas of things that you should be doing, and it will get you away from your plan. If you're a experienced agent, Pete, when I talk to you, when I'm at your office or I do a presentation, what do I end every presentation with? I ask for business. I come to your meeting. I ask your clients, I mean, your agents for business. If I get on the phone with a client, a vendor, pretty much, uh, anybody, I always try. I get more referral income. I hate to admit this, but we're here. We're kind of in the let's be honest mode, right? I get more referral income than my entire team does. And the reason why is it's only because why, Cam? I asked for it, right? It's one of the things that I'm telling him. You should never get off of a good phone call without asking. And then the last thing, if you're experienced and you worked with a lot of buyers during COVID, call them up. 81% of the buyers during COVID are unhappy with parts of their house. So I mean, we have somebody, we listed a property yesterday, 1.6 million. There's things about it, and so we're gonna sell 1.6 million, and then we'll sell her something else. So that's
All
it.
right, good stuff. And I'm going to end it really quick because I have a hard 1 o'clock, so I'm going to shut this off. I want you to change your mindset. I don't care if this is who you have experienced or not. The challenge with this business is and the reason why most agents fail, in my opinion, which of course is right because it's always right, is the investment is so low that nobody takes it serious. I want you to think to yourself, what would you do differently if you invested $250,000 to start your real estate business? And I will tell you, you would do everything different. If you're an experienced agent, I want you to look at your hours that you work every week. And it's part of what I'm teaching for Freedom right now. Really analyze your hours, because a lot of people are doing 4 hours worth of work in 10 hours a day. Streamline your processes, like Ross said. I got to hop this thing real quick because I got a hard appointment. It's really important. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Mitchie.
I love you guys. This is amazing.
Mitchie, our next
Merry Christmas,
our
everybody.
first mastermind in January is going to be on Mitch's birthday, January 9th, correct?
January
'Cause
9th, on my birthday,
the
yes.
second is too close to the
Yeah,
first. So,
January 9th. Bring
so
me
this
gifts.
is what we want to do. This is Mitch's wish for his birthday. Invite somebody that this would benefit in 2025. I want everybody on this call. There's 35 people. Let's get this up to 500. Let's think big. Get out in your marketplace and invite people to this mastermind. Remind them, the fortune is in the follow-up, you guys. People are going to get nuggets out of this. It's going to help their production. It's going to help their mindset. It's going to help their future. It's going to help their family. It's going to help their 2025. But only if you reach out to them and bring them to it. All right. So that's what I want to.
I gotta hit it, guys, because I am late for my next meeting.
See you guys. Happy holidays.
Bye, guys.
Happy holidays.
Okay.